We're setting up negotiations.
Yeah, you decided to to fill in some details there.
Did we actually confirm they were Spectre Star? Like, did we actually confirm that, or was that just my
The lasers indicate they are.
Yeah, the
Right,
lasers are a
right.
big giveaway.
Okay, yeah, that's right. There was just a bunch of stuff that said Spectre Star. They haven't said they're Spectre Star, but
Andrew also used the term inspector, which can be galactic mandate, but unlikely considering all else. Um. And Perry had
lasers and androids.
there was some information from Perry that he said he had reached out to Spectre Star first. Yes, Andrew did confirm that they're Spectre Star Technologies because Perry sent word of this find to them first. But his message to them included a shuttle identifier or some kind of starship identifier that Spectre Star Technologies had safely, stored up in one of their docks. And so those are the other parts. Is that there was notice of a couple of agents that were outside the hotel, some of whom were androids, or one of whom was android, which is another, even if you hadn't gotten confirmation, which is kind of another tick towards Spectre Star technology, is the heavy use of androids.
Yep.
Since they make most of the androids in the sector.
We've all but confirmed.
And so the last thing that you had set up there was a meeting with Amaya wrangling both the stabilized human and I guess dragging along Andrew. Yeah, dragging him is probably fine. Andrew the android. Amaya there with Oogie in case anything goes down. You're gonna draw him into draw the agents into the hotel lobby, but not so far that hopefully not so far that Archibald on a rooftop on the other side of a street can't snipe them. Meanwhile, Izya and Perry are going to be taking care of her, and Izya is going to be talking with Perry, trying to get more information from him.
So did you mean for Oogie to be fully accounted for?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and put us into frame here real quick, because that probably all should have been in frame. I'll have to remember that when I cut this up. If there are any changes that need to be made to that, then perfectly fine. That is just the initial plan that was come up with last session.
Okay. I just happened to have a plausible excuse for Oogie to have been absent last week.
Oh, for that, no, he was involved. He even what did he do? We had him roll trade for something. Oh, bribing the guy. Bribing the desk clerk, if that would be
Oh yeah.
It seemed in character for Oogie. Of course, let you be the judge of that, and we can retcon if needed. But there was a moment where the team wanted information and was having difficulty getting it, so they decided to bribe the hotel desk clerk to go on a smoke break while they took a look in his office.
Yeah, that's definitely something Oogie would do. Facilitating money is definitely part of his MO.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you even got the 3d6 from your trade focus for that.
Nice. So I assume we succeeded in that endeavor?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's... we found the guys. We found the guy's room, and that's when we ran into them taking him in, if you will.
Yeah. Some other bits and pieces of information that scattered around actually got put up there in the discussion channel with a bunch of waves on them. One thing that has not come out or been posted is that on your landing in the shuttle, and I am bringing this back up because Chekhov's gun, that was actually relevant. There was a wall of clouds on one side of Dominica Point, off in the distance, but the shuttle pilot had made a quick "oof, that's a storm coming in" reference, and then moved on to describing how beautiful everything else is.
There's not a dinosaur park on this planet, is there?
There shouldn't be. It would it would have to be a dinosaur water park.
Well, Jurassic Park is frightening in the dark.
All the dinosaurs are running
Running
wild.
wild.
Oh no.
Someone let T-Rex out of his cage.
That was like my first Weird Al song.
I loved that song so much.
All right, and if that plan and those position setups are good for everyone, then let's start right in with that. I'll move you guys aside.
So, if I understand correctly, right now, Amaya and I are trying to lure the androids outside into the lobby of the hotel.
Yes, the intent with this was to discuss with them, and I believe the idea of bringing them into the lobby was to basically get them off the street, cut off paths of egress if they decide to just book it, and minimize a risk of civilian injury. Is that what you guys were thinking of?
I mean, I'm sure we should have considered minimizing risk of civilian injury. Yes.
Maybe I attributed too much thought to you guys.
No. It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
Now, listen here. We just rescued ourselves a boatload of slaves. If it so happens that a few innocent bystanders die in this operation, the karmic scales will balance out.
I didn't realize we could buy morality offsets or karmic offsets.
I don't know if that's how it works.
I like it's like karmic offsets because it really it works with carbon offsets, karmic offsets.
Yeah, no, that would be a fun premise for a game.
There's a game I used to play, and I like to be true neutral, but what that meant was when I did too many good deeds, I had to go out and be a real shitbag for a while.
I am going to go ahead and mark those two as just with the red X, so it's very clear they are not really functional. The wounded person got a dagger in a vital part of his blood flow, and immediately pulled it out. So he is alive, but he is absolutely at that place of if he falls over and hits his head, he dies.
Like a demic shock.
Yeah, he's needing quite a lot of help to move. And so let's draw some boxes because boxes are fun. Oh,
My
and
best friends are boxes.
Hmm?
Huh? Nothing.
Sorry, I literally didn't hear it.
It was a. That's okay. It was a flippant comment. It's fine.
I defy your flippant comments with my hearing loss. And with waves.
Waves, lots of waves, lots of waves, lots of waves.
Alright, what we've got here are boxes for rooftop position, boxes for street, and or a box for a street, and a box for the lobby. Put some words on those.
I mean, Max is easy with whatever.
Oh, also you can take his control away from me.
Okay.
So I don't accidentally seize control of Oogie.
Not brighter end. I do have access to a computer today, so
Oh, wow. Andy.
they had me come into work yesterday, so I'm actually home today.
Nice.
Alright.
Suckers.
Well, I am going to turn you up then. A little bit quiet there.
Oh, sorry.
No worries. I have a bit of volume control on my side.
Also, and you're coming in clear, so
Yeah.
that's good. Like slightly softer but clear.
Alright. I shouldn't have actually deleted those other Spectre Star Tech people, because I could just reuse them. But that's okay. Here. There, I'm reusing them.
They've had a rough time of it.
Alright. Are there any, I think I may have already asked this, but are there any revisions that you want to make to the stated plan? No? Alright.
I don't.
Good. Go ahead and move yourselves into positions in your boxes.
Guessing we're dragging Andy with us.
Yes. Mhm.
Do I go street? Okay, I'll go street, why not? YOLO.
Well, so wait a minute. I mean, at the beginning of the scene, none of us had actually left the hotel yet, right?
Right. And for all you know, it's very likely that agents outside have been tipped off to the escalation of violence. That's just good, military protocol of contact, shots fired, etc., being communicated.
And one imagines that an android can do that practically without thinking, without speaking,
Yeah.
without any kind of.
Yeah, they absolutely can. They've got embedded comms that do not require them to move their lips to communicate.
A small detail that you missed, that when the either right before or when the combat started, somebody had spoken into a microphone in their sleeve or collar. So we know that some words were exchanged anyways.
Yes, absolutely. And these agents have all been dressed in Ka local attire. They look like tourists. Well, not Ka local attire. Ka tourist attire.
That reminds me, would we be? Are we decked out for combat here? Or are we wearing our? What are we wearing?
We've been garishly wearing our uniforms the entire time.
Okay, I thought that might be the case.
We stick out like a sore thumb.
Actually, still his usual self, but with this uniform.
Yeah.
But also, big news, yeah. Someone got to pull out their gun.
Can you repeat that?
I'm half eating a biscuit. Someone got to pull out their gun for the first time.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think they used it.
No, it wasn't fully assembled yet. It is now, though. Up there on that rooftop, ready to snipe someone. I'm going to put Izja and Perry in the lobby because I'll put them on the other way. They are staying close.
Perry is our contact, right? One of the people who notified us of things going on here.
Yes, he is. I'm going to draw a little bit of a line there to show that they are staying out of sight. Although that's made difficult to see by bars and stuff. Oh well. Did you bring the wounded and the android with you?
The negotiations? I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then everyone is gathered. You have, like I said, all the reason to suspect that agents outside are on the lookout for you specifically. That's another detail I forgot to give to Tulare, is that the agents outside that were recognized were also noticed as watching everybody who came in and out. So you have good reason to believe that they will recognize you having come in and out and coming out right after a firefight.
So what about Archibald? How did he get to his?
There is a
vantage
back
point?
door.
Yeah, there's
yeah,
multiple points of exit from the hotel, which became a point of confusion and
'Cause it was implied that maybe Perry went out the back door.
yeah, there was the hotel agent was the what is the attendant? The hotel attendant was ambivalent about whether Perry was in the hotel or not because there's more than one back door. There's a few different exits.
And are there any hotel staff around right now watching us drag a bleeding, wounded man through the hotel lobby?
If you want, yes, Jared is there, but if you want, Oogie can have easily given him a quick look of scatter and ride that along with the previous bribe.
Yeah, neither we nor he want to be around for this.
Yeah. This hotel
I
is
want him to be around for this.
the hotel is very lightly staffed, and especially for its size, and those that aren't sitting out here in attendance in the lobby, like maybe one or two others, are busy on the room turn down backlog. So they are elsewhere in the hotel. There aren't any visitors or people coming in and out. Seems to be a low season, especially with that storm coming in.
What do y'all reckon? Do we want to step outside and try to signal their attention? Maybe use the comms on these two captives to invite them in, gentleman-like.
Want to negotiate? See what they have to say, or what? Because I don't think they're going to be best pleased once they find out what's happened to some of their colleagues upstairs.
I mean, you don't reckon they already know?
No. Otherwise, they would have probably stormed in and tried to help them.
Or they're waiting to do an ambush.
But they'd have
So-
to cover all the exits.
So out of character, before I go and barge out and ruin things for us, what exactly was the negotiation plan? Like, what are we negotiating for?
That's a very good question.
Information, whatever. I guess information's hardly and maybe if they like, 'cause it seemed like there was. So it was a. They said there was a transponder basically for a ship that was currently docked, like one of their ships, right?
Yeah, if I think I did say transponder, right? What I should have said is ship identification. You know, something scraped on the side of the ship that identifies it as such and such.
Gotcha. A ship that absolutely should not be there because it's somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like confirm. So we need to figure out what the deal is with that, and I guess what Spectre Star's interest is, right?
Yeah.
And why they were trying to kidnap our associate?
Or
And I don't know. I mean, again, we're not entirely like we're not entirely against Megacore. I mean, so it's like if we can get cooperate with them, I suppose that would be ideal because for the overall arc or the overall system threat or what do you call it? Sector threat, sector-wide threat that is the Vega. We do want them on board, right?
You want as much help. Raza wants as much help as possible.
Yeah.
To kind of give Aura's voice some room here. Aura had recommended, or Lynx had recommended, negotiating with the hostages to basically try and convince Spectre, hey, just let us go our own way, we're doing our own thing, or potentially work with you guys. But mostly, I think it was a lot of stay out of our way and we'll stay out of yours. Does that sound right?
For the most part.
Yeah.
And do we know that there are those 3 agents out there, or is that just
No,
information you're giving us in advance?
No,
because-
you identified them.
How we know? Yeah.
Okay.
They are smooth enough to be relatively undetectable by normal people, but you guys are not normal people.
Okay, we roll pretty decent.
That too, yes. That definitely helped.
So I'm inclined to borrow one of the comp links and invite them in.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Okay.
All right, so
Because I mean, they know we're here. We're just basically saying we know they're here. You still know we're here anyways at this point.
So Oogie's gonna go and hunker down next to Andrew the android, and just be like, "I want to talk to your friends outside. Activate your comm link."
Oh, Andrew has actually been
Andrew's
shut down.
dead.
You'll need to use the wounded man's comlink.
Yeah,
Okay.
we shut the android down.
Oh, okay. We're dragging the
Well,
robot. Oh,
he
that's
shut
the
himself
robot.
down.
I get it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We had him shut down. That's right. I remember that now.
Yeah.
All right, so Oogie, you're down next to the wounded man, and say, "I want to talk to your friends outside. Activate your comm link."
I'm gonna kind of position them a little bit, just relative and abstract. And the wounded man gives Oogie no argument. Yeah, reaches slowly up to his sleeve, and through some clever RFID tagging, the combination of his cufflink and a brooch or a pin on his sleeve, and a little press of the sleeve, He nods to Oogie. Or it could have all been theatrics.
Hey, I know there's 3 of you out there listening in here. There's been a very unfortunate misunderstanding inside the hotel. But I think if you all would come inside, we can have a chat about it, and we can talk this through like gentlemen instead of like ruffians.
There's a
They're kind of rough inside.
momentary pause. Tilt of his head, and then I guess the wounded man should probably have a name.
Wounded man.
Correct.
What did you say there, Ben?
Correct. You know, it's always the most simple name.
Greg?
Or Jack.
And Andrew. Might as well.
I heard Greg. I don't know if that's the word you said, but I'm gonna go with
Correct.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could
That
you-
or Gorag, but I don't think it's gonna be Gorag. But I don't know. Maybe it is Gorag.
Well, it might be, but he simply goes by Greg. Greg with no last name. Softly, because he is in a lot of pain, and very faint, responds to Oogie and says, "Want assurances that nobody else will be hurt."
Oogie's eyes narrow. Well, I mean, that depends mostly on you all.
Looks back up. Send. Let me go, and they'll commune.
Oogie turns to Marcus and Amaya, says, "Hey, they're asking we let them medevac this guy, and they'll come in here and talk."
Oh,
Okay with it.
understandable. I think it's one of them. I did save his life.
Yeah, I think that sounds all right then.
All right. Wounded man will need some help leaving this hotel. So to don't have to do it out in roleplay, but do you want the person that'll be taking the agent that'll be taking him away to come in and get him at the doorway along with the other two, or do you want to walk him out?
Amaya will walk him out.
Okay. Amaya is met by the combat android, Human Agent 1, and Greg there is going to be taken away by Human Agent 2. Once the pass-off is completed, Agent 1 and Combat Android will enter the lobby with you. You want to move your tokens to where you want to be relatively positioned.
Also,
They take
any
both Andrew and the wounded guy.
No, they only took the wounded guy.
Okay.
We still have Android.
Yeah. Then we'll.
Actually, it's going to be next to the Android.
I will stay here to body.
Were there any other humans involved in the altercation who didn't make it out?
Yes, there were. I believe there were 4, right? Yeah, there were 4.
four total.
You ended up killing one of the humans with a chest full of little harpoons, and driving a spear deep enough into an android that it is worth about 1,000 in scrap.
Okay, so one human fatality and 1 human injury.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not really that terrible, right? We're not the baddies, are we?
They're the one who tried abducting someone. We did the right.
Yeah, I don't know if I can answer that.
All right, so Amaya is backing well away from the door. I thought we were going to try to keep them close to the front.
Oh, we can. There's a whole lot of people and in front of the door, and so we're not gonna like have them at exactly the doorway, are we?
Well, so I guess my question is,
Eh.
I assume Archibald would have been able to tell us where he could see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
if
I'm
you can
just
see that yellow line, then that'll be your relative positioning for how far in Archibald can freely shoot.
Okay, no problem then.
All right. That was not as much help as I'd hope it would be. All right, no problem. Well,
Break the line a little bit.
okay. All right, we're going to do a real quick naming. The combat android you learn is named Tracy.
Why is this better than Steve?
And the combat android. I'm going to find a British name is Marley. Marley W.
Will this be in the test?
Of course,
Damn.
everyone has to have a name. I just didn't want to keep calling them Agent and, Android.
Mm-hmm.
No ulterior motives at all. Alright, Marley takes the lead, as far as, any kind of negotiations. You can tell that Tracy is, acting as a combat asset, and, is not inclined to take any kind of negotiative initiative. And, Marley says, "Thank you for letting us get Greg medical attention.
Yeah, it should be alright.
I'm sure he'll recover just fine."
Well,
What's
if
it-
it doesn't, then blame it on me. I did a shabby job.
What about, why do I keep closing that, huh? Oh no. Well, what about Ralphie?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Tall, blonde hair, bit mussed
Oh,
up.
dead.
Hmm.
It decided it'd be a good thing to raise a weapon, I think, after we already incapacitated one of his friends.
He knows the risks of the job.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, we're a bit like, bees, I suppose. We're very bright and stand out, so you should know we're dangerous.
Oogie raises up his hands and says, "This job didn't need to be this risky. Like I said, a very unfortunate misunderstanding. We both happen to have interest in the same person, and all parties involved were willing to resort to violence to secure that interest. It didn't need to be that way.
And let me type something out here real quick, and then I'll respond.
Hmm.
Uh, how does that work? Okay, great. Before Aura, decided that, he'd, sit out and, try and feel better, we agreed that I would still post up the conversation that he's having with Perry, and that Izia would be communicating that to the group as appropriate. Probably not word for word in every detail, but you as players are welcome to take the highlights out, what you think is important, and that's what Izia will have told.
Oh my god. Forgot about that incident.
I thought you were gonna kick out of that.
Yep. Oh.
Marley responds, well, it seems as if action preceded thought. I'm glad that we're using words now.
I mean, we did use words initially. We told them to stop, and then that's when they pulled the guns.
What is it that you want here with the man that we were escorting off the premises?
Well, you see, that's part of my question, to be fair. You say escorting him off the premises. I don't believe Perry was going willingly. So would you like to change your statement there?
We all know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I know. I just want you to understand that, you know, you can call it what you want, but you were wanting to take a forceful approach. You simply wanted to chat.
And what did you want to chat with Perry about?
Probably the same reason you do.
That's a very evasive answer, isn't it?
Well, I don't know the reason you want him, so I'm going to stick with that answer.
You haven't asked. I have.
Oh, okay, if that's easy, then why do you want him?
I asked first.
I saved your friend's life. I also saved you this
Well.
robot. Unless you want me to, like, cancel both of them.
Speaking
That's
of
a bit
which,
threatening.
on. This is going nowhere so far.
I know, but I've told you the answer, you just didn't like the answer.
You're right.
Oogie rolls his eyes. We just gonna dance around each other like this, or we gonna get straight to the matter?
Please do.
So, do you
Hey.
know about the video?
Was Oogie gonna jump in there too?
Yeah, Oogie was gonna say, there have been some archaeological ruins discovered, and they're of interest to everyone.
Ah. I believe we want Perry for the same reasons then.
I mean, why else would you want this person right here.
His impeccable style. He looks back over at Oogie.
Right.
I don't reckon any of us have had enough time alone with Perry to figure out what it is he knows. I'll give you that. I don't like your methods. You don't like ours. But we're going to work together here. You got it?
I'll relay any interest in cooperation to the inspector. Quick GM interjection. Andrew had told you that the inspector was one of the people. Was Ralphie, the dead human agent upstairs, when you were asking him who he reports to.
Oh, okay. Oh, is the inspector back on, I presume, your ship? Where your friend's going to?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What's their name?
Inspector Kai.
Ah, okay. Thank you. So, simple question. Are you going to impede our investigation? Like, because we want to, try and get along here.
I think
Are you
we're
going
past
to-
that. Let's talk about what we can do for each other.
Okay, good. But the question still stands, are you going to impede us? Because obviously working together, we might, go to the same places, but you might, decide to do your own thing and try and hamper us. So you get whatever discovery it is first.
And you might do the same to us.
Well, that is true, but I have no reason to.
And I have no reason to hamper you.
Okay, fair dues. I accept that. Apart from
think-
you've got a grudge because we've killed some of your men, so, not quite
I think
the same.
ultimately, all of us want about the same thing. And the only thing that we're not going to get out of this is exclusive access. We can work together just the same as we could work apart.
How long have you been in this city?
One moment here. Okay. Instead of me just winging it here, let's roll some dice. Oh, perfect timing on that music. Let's see. Wow. Even with a -1, stayed neutral.
Wow.
Okay. Marley tells you that they've been on these godforsaken waters for weeks now.
Well,
He
anywhere
calls it a
nice to
wild
eat?
goose chase.
Is anywhere nice we can eat together, rather than just being stood here?
I'd rather keep it to business.
Oh,
And Tracy
you
isn't
might at least
hungry.
pay for a meal for us.
What did Marcus say? You want them to pay for a meal for you?
Yeah.
I
No.
don't think we're exactly
Seems-
here for a shakedown.
No, it's not a shakedown, just a business meal, You sit down, enjoy your meal, connect with one another, talk business.
But they had to pay for it.
I mean, they're from the big corporation.
Yeah. Marley still shakes his head and says, no.
Okay. Are we at least gonna pay for the damage upstairs?
He shrugs.
I'll take that as a yes. Thank you. We'll at least split that bill. You know, seems we are equals here. So how quickly did Kai come Inspector then?
That doesn't seem important. Let's talk about what we can do on the open sea. You propose to help us, but what do you bring to the table? Or is it simply the threat of not shooting us?
Well,
Well, it's one of them. We know. Well, we've gotten to know the person who loans out the boats to Corey. We've also got to. I guess if we, I guess, push a little bit or try and persuade even further, we might be able to get an emergency beacon activated so we could track down where they are. Or we could wait 2 days. That's what we bring. What about yourselves?
Why do you think this Corey person is important?
I mean, 2 people stuck together and now ripped apart?
We've been watching her. She isn't going anywhere near the site.
Okay.
so just to clarify, they've been unable to locate the site or where it was found or what?
He hasn't explicitly stated that.
Just kind of finding curious that they said, call it a wild goose chase. Like,
Yeah?
but anyways, Archibald's not in the room, so that's just me wanting to clarify a point.
Yes, to put a period on that, as Aura has suggested I do more often, that is effectively what's been said and not said. And I don't think it's a stretch to say that the more conversationally perceptive characters here will have noted that that combination of Wild Goose Chase and she's gone nowhere
Not
near.
gonna check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because that suggests that they know where it is, but there's
You can of course ask him to explicitly clarify that if you want.
up to y'all.
So do we not know where the site yet is either? Is that correct?
That's correct. You're basically the first thing that you were doing here was hooking up with connecting with Perry to find out that information from him. Which Izzy seems to be having some telepathic and surface, actual verbal communication difficulty with.
Oh, more information.
Indeed. Izzy ramps up the telepathic contact. Perry fails his save, and Izzy gets a more vivid insight into Perry's thoughts. Also, a fantastic version of Winvincible's hit single Vulnerable on marimba, in marimba style. If you'd like, we can kind of step back from the in-character communication and just kind of trade what you want from them and what questions you have for them on a couple of skill checks.
Do they even have fish on coasts?
No. I mean,
Oh, okay.
aside from decorative fish
Skyfish?
in ponds here and there,
Okay.
or artificial lakes on the floating cities, no.
Yeah. I mean, Final Fantasy 14 has like skyfish, so you never know.
So my thought is that we would be willing to follow up on the site. We're willing to find the site and invite them along to participate in the expedition to this site in exchange for, I mean, I'm thinking honestly, just a good word with, not Transtar. What's the
Spectre
what's the
Star.
name of their
Spectre Star.
Spectre Star.
Mhm.
Transtar's from Prey. So yeah, I mean, just kind of, you know, show of goodwill that Raza wants to cooperate with Spectre Star.
Okay. Let us hold that roll until later. I want to get any information trading rolls before we get to a results roll. So, is there more information that you want from them? Such as confirming whether they do or do not know where the site is, perhaps?
That, and I guess like where they've looked.
Okay.
It was. Go ahead.
Like I said, I kind of also find it odd that they've just written off the other person that found the site.
Okay.
Mike?
Nox?
It was said that the person Perry hasn't gone anywhere near the site, so it implies that they know where the site is and know that he hasn't gone anywhere near it.
They were
Unless-
talking.
It could be
Corey.
unless
Corey.
it's being inferred that
Yeah, that was
Actually,
Corey.
that was a contradiction.
sorry.
It's okay. So just to clarify, it was Corey they were talking about. They've tracked, and that she's gone nowhere near the site.
So how come you've not gone to the site yet, or have you? Would be a question.
All right. So let's go ahead and get a talk check. I believe would be in order on trying to get more information from them, and we'll do this just like scanning on a ship. That is the exact difficulty you needed to hit right now. So they confirmed that they don't know the actual site. Their initial conversation with Perry gave them bad information. They have searched in a tight circle so that they wouldn't miss anything. The location information that he gave them, and have found not only not found the site that's been described, but also haven't found any of the landmarks that would suggest he even sent them to the right place and was making up the site. Does that make sense? Did I scramble that up too much?
When they say making it up, like, do they believe that it doesn't actually exist then now, or they just think
No.
he gave them deliberately bad information?
They think he gave them deliberately bad information. There's a lot of conflict there because there's. I mean, he could have seen a Spectre Star Technologies shuttle and its identifier, and he didn't necessarily make that up. There's the chance that he made up it being on the seafloor here, but they think that that he did have too much detail in his initial report sent to Spectre Star Technologies, and they think that he gave them bad information when they came to Ka and questioned them. So this will actually be their third communication or engagement with Perry. First, when he sent them the message before it was sent to Raza, second they came here to Ka, and he told them where it was. And now, when they're coming back to trying to abduct him because they believe he gave them bad information.
So there's an implication that presumably Perry changed his mind at some point.
And in that, I am going to give you the last piece of information that, dang it, I forgot to bold it again, that Izya will have. Give you a moment to get through that.
So something has threatened him since his initial discovery.
Mm-hmm. That is information that Izya is confirming based on his read of Perry's body language and his mind. Did you have any other questions or anything other information you wanted to get from this this parlay?
I'm a
How-
little confused about that last bit of information that you relayed. So it sounds like somebody got to Perry before Spectrastar did, but that I'm trying to reconcile all of that with the so-called abduction that we stumbled upon. Was he going willingly or wasn't he?
Oh, he was not going willingly. They had a bag
He
over his
wasn't
head.
going willingly, but I guess he wasn't like it wasn't
So-
freaking him out nearly as much as what got to him before, right?
So it sounds
Right.
like maybe two then, because it's like someone got to him, he then talked to them. They didn't like the information he gave them, then they've come back again. Unless I'm misreading.
Right. So it sounds like between the time that he made the find and then contacted Spectrestar, something has happened to cause him not to want to cooperate with Spectrestar.
Yeah,
And
basically.
whatever that is, he's much more terrified than whatever Spectrestar can do.
That's
So it
correct.
sounds like almost like to the point of like existential dread at the very.
But
I don't
also
know.
still kind of afraid of Spectrastar.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but it's like, what can they do that the other one wouldn't do worse? You know.
Oh,
This-
wait a minute. I think I understand. He was afraid of getting the information dragged out of him because then he was going to get punished for it somehow.
I mean, possibly.
Question. If Marcus had to spend 5 minutes looking up for disappearances out on boats in certain air in the ocean, how
Mhm.
many hits would there have been in the last 8 months?
Hmm.
And at any point was there like, is it a steady? Is there a surge at certain portions?
Yeah, give me a an int or wisdom administration check. Okay. This is something that Marcus can kind of sideline while keeping half an ear on the ongoing conversation between Oogie and Marley. Some of that being simply continuing the engagement and just kind of trading words to continue the engagement. Marcus finds that there has not been any increase or decrease um, in disappearances that can't be explained by the increase in unskilled tourist traffic that has been driven here by the initial announcement of some kind of ruins found on the bottom of the oceans of Ka.
Okay, so it's steady, steady, steady. Taurus goes up.
Yes. And there are lots and lots of advisories from various pillar cities throughout uh, uh, hmm, yes, throughout all of Ka, as relayed by the one space station, Everest Station, um, in their the information bursts they get as it travels over them. Um, Basically, telling people do not let tourists go out unguided. Don't rent to tourists that look like they're having a hard time of it, or going to be fools. And intermixed with all of these are some much more draconian messages from the United Imperial Shogunate in orbit, which were much more numerous up until more recently, um, that just outright forbid tourists from leaving pillar cities, and then outright forbid tourists from going down to the planet. And that's what had put a strain on the fish trade for about a month. For a while, for a few weeks. Can't remember exactly how long.
Okay. So people were being idiots, basically, and that's when it was like they put a stop to it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know.
Okay.
I mean, but also just to check, was based on that, there wasn't like a hot spot for like so-and-so went disappeared here, and then like, four other people disappeared at this like location, basically.
There were more at Dominica Point, um, but that really isn't unexpected since that's where Perry is.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to check there wasn't like a, hey, in this location, basically people go missing more often than not.
No useful anomalies, in short.
Right. Yeah. That's basically the what Marcus would gather from this is that
Yeah, okay,
there's no
that's fine.
useful anomalies. I will, however, GM gift the very severe manner and wording of the UIS notices kind of jives with some of Perry's imagery.
Oh, I was gonna say, kind of jives with the stick that they always have up their butts.
Okay, so Shogunite, that's what Perry's scared of.
So I wonder if that has an implication that his discovery has something to do with the Shogunate. But that'd be kind of weird, right? And then again, we haven't come across anything nefarious to the Shogunate yet, have we?
I mean,
That we know of.
it could just be that this discovery is enough to get everybody interested and willing to play dirty to keep it a secret. I mean, it could involve them directly. We'll see. Out of character question. Yeah, okay. Do you want to be back in the scene? Do you want to be invited back down to the ground level, or do you want to stay up on the rooftop?
It sounds like things are cordial enough, and it's just the two of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I haven't
Oogie-
seen any movement outside, right?
Right. The other human agent has slowly taken the wounded man off, and they went in the direction of the shuttles that go up and down from Dominica Point.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna put my sniper rifle on my back.
Yeah, Oogie is gonna,
Walk in.
in fact, verbally communicate to Archibald. Archibald, it's safe to stand down. You can come on in. And then also going to communicate with Izya and suggest that he promise protection to Perry.
Okay. Well, let's do a token roll for Izya. Kind of how we did a token roll for Oogie when you were absent. Maybe not token roll. That's probably not the right word. A present roll. And I think I'm going to let him roll that with telepathy and charisma. Not wisdom, charisma. What do we got there? Alright. You may now include in your questioning for any other information that you want. Perry. The difficulty is set on the same track as your questions for the agent, where each question increases the difficulty by 1. So right now, the next question you ask of either is 9. Unless there's no other information that you want from either of them.
I think there is. I'm trying to think of
where the site
what
is.
we next want to say is, I think Oogie's going to talk to Marley. I think Perry is more scared of something else than he is of you all, which is not to say that he ain't scared of you all, but something else has got him spooked. I figure if we work together, ease his mind. Maybe it'd be better if we had a common enemy than a 3-way standoff.
Marley shakes his head. Says, who else would be more threatening than you or us here?
Let me see. Just to be clear, Ka is located in the OAS space, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Do we want to speculate that out loud?
Yeah, is that something that Archibald, as he's because he could have been listening in on comms this entire time. Does he want to ask that as he's walking in?
Sure. I'm gonna say, is anyone considered UIS? It's their space after all.
Well, Marley looks over at him. Tracy looks at him also, but more in a tracking potential threats manner.
Yes, I am a threat.
Why would Shogunate?
Hell if I know.
I mean, imagine if it's
Anything-
your place.
Let's
Anything
just say
weird about that that your vessel that's supposed to be that was supposed to have been found there? You got any special tech on it?
Oh, no. It's just a shuttle.
I mean, you would say that.
I mean, if it's such a shuttle, why would you risk your men for it?
Well, because it's not there. It's very weird. Sorry.
I reckon if we keep poking around here, we're going to figure out just what their interest in this is.
Why do you even think the Shogunate would be involved?
We have our ways.
It might be just more of a
Plus,
trying to cover something up potentially, and now people are poking holes at it. He doesn't want them to.
it's the only other organization I can think of in the area that would be scarier than the Raza or Spectre Star.
What I was about to say, it's the sensible answer to your question. What's got this guy so spooked?
I call it the process of elimination. Also, I'm not going to share that we had the imagery from Isha.
Right. Fair enough. Well, there's the flimsiest of motive to that, and that's that the tourism here was disrupting trade. Or risked long-term disruption to trade.
So I'm going to. I'd like to put Oogie on that question.
Okay.
Intelligence plus trade,
Okay.
if I may, just to figure out, are there actual economic motives to hindering tourism on Ka? Because it seems like if this is part of Shogunate space, taxes would more than cover any issues.
Okay. Yes, I think that's fair. Go ahead and roll that.
All right.
And whatever they're trying to cover up is worth more than the damage to tourism they're taking right now.
So does this get my my 3d6?
Go ahead and put that back up in chat for me to take a look at real quick. Yeah, I think that works. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Give me just a moment to look back over my notes for this event. You also can check the Artemis Black News for anything with fishing for adventure in it. Okay. And with Oogie's insight into trade and markets and black markets, this kind of find could result in a surge of black market smuggling. The term I put there is black market adventure smuggling racket.
Adventure.
And as reported by news some time ago, I don't have my dates on here, but as reported in one of those news articles, there had been dozens of people unaccounted for due to the surge in unskilled tourism. So the answer is yes. It did have a possibility of drastically changing the Ka market and tourism landscape in a less controlled direction through black markets and smuggling.
Okay. Oh, that's good then. We can we could actually bring the UIS in as allies on this one then too. If we play our cards right. Here's the way that I reckon. UIS thinks that this is gonna wreck their control over the trade of whatever it is found down there. And so far, it seems that they may be right. But if we can convince them that our interest is predominantly scientific, which as far as I'm concerned is the absolute truth, then we might be able to get some privileged access and maybe even assist in keeping black marketeers away from the site. Having pillagers in there ain't good for them or us.
What assistance do you think that bringing the shogunate in would provide us both?
Maybe not their assistance, but we could maybe get them to back off and at least let us in. If we can convince them that we're not here to steal nothing.
If they're the reason that we can't get information from Barry on where the damn site is.
That sounds reasonable. All right. Let's talk about terms.
It's like, I don't know if I really wanted that Spectre Star in our contacts and everything.
Well, with some communications coming from Inspector Kai, why don't I put him on the table just as a potential memory refresher.
I just keep stuck. I just keep getting stuck in the anti-mega core mindset.
We can't make enemies of all of them.
I know.
We can.
It's just a really bad habit.
I'm also thinking here about the idea that we might use, and you'll have to refresh my memory on the new support system, Dexter.
Mm-hmm.
But negotiating a three-way contract between Raza, the UIS, and Spectre Star for scientific access to this site, where we agree to provide ongoing security against pillaging and against looting and smuggling, with joint scientific results being shared among all three parties.
Essentially, that's something that falls under the war support system, right?
It'll depend. I don't want to answer that fully with a period. I will say that it will depend on what the discovery actually is, and how much information about it you allow to be let loose. So, to give
Also,
some, well,
well,
no, I don't
know,
even want to give
Ari's
misleading
crawling all over
examples.
Yeah, don't worry about examples. I guess my take on this is we've established kind of the parameters of the problem, at least initial parameters of the problem. And if that's enough for us to say there can be a legal negotiation between the three interested parties, assuming we're right about the shogunate being the other interested party,
Mhm.
then if we use the war support system to cut through
I misunderstood you. Yeah, go ahead.
the details of that negotiation and that that'll just allow us to say we form an equitable agreement between the three parties, and then we can go to the site and do things.
Yeah, actually, I'm fine with it. I'm sorry. I was interpreting your question as could this add to one of the support stats later on, and that would be the answer to that would basically be depends on what you get out of this, and yes, it may be a bonus. To answer the question that you were actually asking, yeah, no, that sounds like a good use for the public, the support.
Do the rest of you agree with that plan? Does that sound good?
Oh yeah.
Because I think getting to the site is the most interesting thing we have.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I love it because it is using the war framework for exactly what I envisioned it to cut through some of the stuff that might be less interesting.
And the role play up to this point was interesting.
Thank you.
Actually going through and having us talk with Marley and Kai and try to figure out what the actual boundaries of that negotiation are going to be. And Oogie likes that stuff, but Tulare does not.
Fair.
Figuring out the, that there is a third party involved, whether it's UIS. I think we have strong circumstantial evidence, right? Essentially, that's what the circumstantial evidence points to.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole Spectre Scar thing, all but confirmed.
One nice thing about this is it kind of establishes Raza as a straight shooter, that we're not going to come in and play these political, plausible deniability games. We're going to come in and we're going to resolve things.
Especially, that's actually a really good look too, though. If we get UIS cooperating with Spectre Star, because Spectre Star is interested because it's one of their ships that absolutely should not be there because it's actually somewhere else. Which is presumably through no fault of their own that this strange anomaly has occurred. But we'll find out.
We know whose fault it was.
The Vega.
Aliens.
That's what I said.
More different aliens.
More different aliens.
It's got to tie back to the Vega. I agree. That's kind of the theme of this campaign. Discovering all the ways that the infra world messes up the real world.
I don't know if it meant anything to y'all, but that first thing revealed that basically these guys the Jai accidentally created a cult.
Did he really do it accidentally?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely yes. Because he was like, because they had like most of the coast is like strangely religious. But he was going to
We've been
talk
Coast,
to
right? Isn't that where the condenser was?
No, well, this campaign we've not been to Coast. Coast
Right.
is like basically floating cities, sky cities.
What am I thinking of?
You're thinking of fighting with the big old swirling consuming storm entity.
That's the one I was thinking of fighting.
Yep.
One could say Coast is like it's kind of like Ka, except that it's sky cities instead of floating water cities. But
And it absolutely was accidental. Jai was trying to convince a group of Kasani who were questioning their faith. Oh, and just to give you an idea, the Kasani faith is basically that song in Moana where everything is as it should be and everyone has a place and you stay in that place. That is...
yeah, what was it, like the Unpathed or something like that? What was the,
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, everyone had like a path, but the people that were questioning were called like the Unpathed.
I think it was Unpathed. And so they found a group of these Unpathed, and Jai was trying to convince them to go down to the frozen over surface of Coast that the ancients had lifted them up from, eons ago into their floating sky cities, and helped them find the old earthbound cities or planet-bound cities where condensers were. And I've used this as an example in the Stars Without Number Discord about how a good roll doesn't always succeed the way that you want it. Because the argument was so effective and the roll was so good, but the direction that the player took the argument, I decided convinced these people more than ever that they should be more faithful. And he absolutely convinced them out of helping him destroy their ancient cultural artifacts on the ground.
So more faithful to their existing faith, or like are they now like adherents of the path of Jirao?
No, they are more faithful to their existing faith.
Oh, okay.
He taught them that their path was meant to be.
Did they believe anything special about Jirao? Could we convince this guy to help us if we give him like a picture of Jirao?
You might be able to use that as leverage, yeah.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
And with that, let's see. I'm gonna pull up that little bit of war that I did. Oh no, that's the old one. Let me get the new version up. War support. Is this the new version? No, that's still the old complex version.
And not the new complex version.
Yeah. Well, the new version isn't as complex. I hope.
Oh, that attitude.
Oh, I have it somewhere else. Dang it! Why do I have it somewhere else? Darkstar War Support 2. There we go. Alright, so we're going to look at a couple things here. This is... I do believe that this is support instead of assets. This is basically trying to utilize the spread of support for Raza and its mission in your negotiations here.
That's fine. Support was always the harder one to find a use for.
It was, and yeah. I hope I broadened that out so that it's more useful. Yeah, the logistics cost here is 2, and you are within range, so you're not suffering double penalty on that.
Where are we looking?
Oh, I am looking at. Did I post it somewhere? Yes, I posted it in the rules discussion. War support V2. It's actually the most recent message there.
There we are. Open that up in Sumatra.
Yes. And so we're gonna work out what you want that deal to be, which I think you've already pretty much stated, but I'll ask you to state again, and then I'll give it a difficulty, and we will roll. I'm also gonna go over and look at what Raza's current support is.
All right, I just need to refresh my memory on the support here.
Oh, I haven't updated that.
I assume this is going to be committing effort for the mission.
This feels like a for the mission thing, yes. Now let's try this again. Back over. Yeah. Nope, wrong one. Yeah. Delete you and put you down.
So
All right.
my vision of this, and I'll repeat it and then get everybody else's acknowledgement or agreement, is that we are going to use Raza support to establish an agreement between Raza, Spectrestar, and the UIS, granting us access to this archaeological site for scientific research purposes in exchange we will provide security for the duration of our archaeological mission, and share the archaeological findings between Spectre Star, Raza, and the UIS. We are expecting Spectre Star to be involved in both the scientific and security contributions, basically offering them joint access so that we're not at each other's throats while we're both trying to access this site.
Okay. As stated. Oh, let me get anybody. Anybody wants to make adjustments or comments on that?
Sounds good to me.
Nox, Ben?
I suppose Spectre Star might want to assert that they're also going to do recovery or salvage of anything that is established as their ship that may be down there. But that would be more on them than on Raza.
Yeah. I mean,
Hang
don't-
on,
don't give
sorry,
me
I was
ideas.
distracted hugging Aura. He's definitely not feeling well. Can you repeat that?
So just because Spectre Star has presumably a ship crashed at this site through unknown means, they're probably going to want a rider in there that says that they're allowed to recover or salvage their vessel, which I'm fine with, but that's not a Raza's business. That's Spectre Star's involvement here.
Okay. Meowkin, did you have something you were saying?
Oh no, I was just like, oh no, I was just saying, no, don't give me ideas now. But no, that's perfectly reasonable.
Okay. As stated, that will be a difficulty 8. You have a +5 from your support score of 21, and a -2 from the local political terrain. So you'd be rolling a 2d6 +3 for difficulty 8. If you are willing to also agree that Raza will not, that none of them, actually, let me rephrase that, that UIS controls outgoing information about this find, then it'll be a difficulty 6.
Outgoing to whom?
At all. Basically saying that Raza will not disclose any findings to the public. Oh, I see what you're asking. To the public at large. You can, of course, submit everything that you find to Raza Command, but it's expected that Raza Command would also agree to not put this out to the public, as well as Spectre Spark.
We're basically agreeing to help them keep their secrets.
Yes.
To make the roll that easy, though? What do you think, guys? I think yes.
The only thing I want in response to that is, if it is Vega related, I feel like the Raza should still be, maintained, because that is the whole Raza crusade, right?
Or we just violate the contract in that case.
At a key moment, of course, not just willy nilly. That's my only concern with that, is if it's like, hey, this is like an integral thing in the Vega thing, which is surely it's not. Surely the Vega aren't. Anyways.
I honestly think either way, it's actually more interesting if we just agree to that.
Yeah, I see your point. That's fine then. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll add that UIS control info. Or public info.
Yeah. Anyone opposed?
No.
So difficulty 6.
Difficulty
2d6
6
+3. So basically anything but deuces.
Yep.
So don't roll deuces.
All right. I don't know how to make that roll for just like random dice roll.
/roll.
/roll 2d6 +3.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You can also do /R, but.
Wow.
Wow.
Way to tread the line there.
So
Completely agree to
incredibly glad.
Woof.
Wow. Oh, that's too funny.
All right. Well, you do hold a private what's it tight beam communication, three-way tight beam communication between your ships, between the ship on which Inspector Kai is located, uh, which I can tell you their names if you like. The ship on which the Shinobu Navy officer of rank, Major General, is located,
A
and
major
your ship.
general in the system. Wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
modern Major General.
2-star, if that's what that means.
Is it modern Major? Is it modern Major General? Right. That's
I am the very
song.
image of a modern major
Yes.
general of information,
There we
vegetable,
go.
and animal and mineral.
Yes,
Wow.
the Shogunate left a very highly ranked naval officer here. And Izzy can kind of note that some of the mannerisms of this Shimomura Natsumi are in line with some of the fear that Perry felt.
Mhm.
Here's the period to that sentence. This is the person that spoke with Perry and scared the crap Ola out of him. And all parties are in agreement. Did you want to go forward with the plan of convincing Perry to give you the proper location using Jirao?
To try
Well, we-
that, and then we just say, "Oh, by the way, we brokered a deal with the UIS. We're cool now."
I was gonna say, I assume the UIS actually knows where it's located.
But I would like to pursue the Jirao thing.
UIS doesn't actually know exactly where it's located either.
Okay. So yeah, we're gonna try to appeal to Perry's veneration of Jai Rao to get him to reveal this information.
Okay. This is not a role you can fail. I want to state that up front so that you don't worry that
Yeah.
I'm going to make you take additional steps. I just want to see the result of the roll. Someone
Because
make
it will have consequences. Those are the best kinds of roll.
roll me a charisma talk. Whoever is putting this to Perry, roll me a charisma talk.
This kind
Now,
of
if you roll
shystery-
high enough to become a prophet in the Jirao religion,
this kind of shyster behavior seems right up Boogie's alley.
Do it.
So he's got a little holographic plastic picture of Jai Rao that he's printed out.
Mm-hmm.
Now Perry, I just want you to know that I have actually met Jai Rao, and I can assure you that he would want you to assist us. He would want you to assist us so much that he asked me personally to give this to you.
Let me see those numbers. Let's see that roll.
So let's see here. Charisma. Let's talk. No modify. Any modifiers? Minus or
No,
plus?
no.
Nope. Dice hate me today.
They do. As I said, this is not something that will fail and make you take other steps. However, Perry looks at that. I want to be done with this. This path has not treated me well.
oh no, he's disillusioned with Jirao.
But he gives you the location.
Does he take the picture?
Yes.
That's the important part, huh?
He's done with the path, but it's not going to stop him from selling his souvenir back on those.
Let me make a quick life-changing note for Perry.
This is for the third part of the campaign. Right?
Yeah. Perry has just become a recurring character once each campaign.
Yeah, so what's next? Darkstar Aftermath.
Actually, I think it is.
It's ostensibly about the war against the Vega, but in reality, it's all about us making cults throughout the system.
All right, we're actually right at our break point, so why don't I do this life-changing event for Perry note on our break, and we can come back at about 1:10.
Sounds good.
And we'll jump straight into your arrival at the site.
I'm kind of curious. Is where Corey's been going line up with where the actual site is?
It does not.
Okay. So Corey's situation is still a mystery.
Corey's situation is still a mystery. We'll go ahead and pop back in. And we return to the crew having, the team having, I'm assuming rented their own watercraft instead of wanting to only use what watercraft Spectre Star Technologies currently had.
Absolutely.
And here's a list of said watercraft. Let me make sure that'll work like that. Actually, here's a. I want to make sure that all my work has gone. It is being observed, so. Why did it do that? Okay. Why is it doing all of this? There we go. And so you guys can easily enough get a pondway for the 5 of you, or a couple of wake fins if you want individual boats. You are unable to rent anything that has the weapons that are mentioned as possible. But as far as getting boats out there, you have no difficulty. The only point of resistance you meet is when Zara warns you that there is a storm coming in, and that she is only able to rent out boats to you for basically a few more hours. Not that you have to return them within a few hours, that she can only legally rent them to you, sign the rentals for a few more hours, and then you're on your own. You go through with all that, make your way out to the location that Perry finally gave up, and find yourself over a patch of fairly shallow for the sea water, with light that doesn't quite reach all the way to the bottom. It is still bright and sunny outside. To move things along, the UIS has sent along a their own basically auditor, Suaya Juzo. Um, and so you're looking down into depths with the impending dive that you've only trained in the safest of environments. Well, except for being pushed down by Quiet River. I'm done speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, okay. Narration ended.
It's like I'm just reading the thing you posted.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Right, that would be a little bit of a distraction, wouldn't it? I had some fun making those. Not that I made them, but writing them up. I believe that should be a car. What the hell? Thank you, autocorrect. I have no idea what a seating door is. Oh, seating 4-1.
My question is, have you seen the latest Avatar?
Yes.
Way of water.
So, where are the little inflatable things? Do you know?
To drag him to the surface.
Yeah.
We're not going whaling.
That's certainly something that you might be able to buy from locals on the flotillas.
Hell yeah.
That kind of equipment could be found on a pillar city, but very unlikely. It's the kind of thing that only the flotilla locals, the people that actually live on the sea on their flotillas, that's the kind of thing that only they would really have use for. And it's more likely that they just put them together from parts sold by the pillar cities.
So once we're out on the open water
Mhm.
with the Pillar City lost beyond the horizon behind us,
Mhm.
Oogie remarks to Archibald, I don't think I ever really understood the phrase beautiful and terrifying until right this very moment.
Right. Yeah. Look, I'm sure it'll be fine. We did our swimming training, right?
The GM is going to interject and add to that. The only landmark you have is the wall of clouds quickly approaching from the side.
And our GPS technology, so we always know where we're at, right?
There is literally only
Oh.
one satellite.
Oh,
That
right. I guess
station.
they may not have GPS satellites.
No.
Oh. Well, we got a cruiser. I mean, it's surely can function as a satellite.
Yes, that's true. You you can find your way using your ship.
And as that wall of cloud, which is approaching, although still distant, looms over the horizon in the opposite direction, Yeah, Oogie's just gonna kind of nod sober and say, "How about we get in the water so I can stop looking at that?"
Why it looks so inviting?
I wonder what the storm will like to be underwater. And if
No,
that
no,
was,
I don't want to
I,
wonder that.
I mean, shit, I don't know if I want to be up here in the storm though.
I have an optimistic assumption that we are going to be able to finish up whatever we need to get done today before that storm arrives.
Across from you, a few meters away on their own pondway, you see Spectre Star Technologies suiting up for the dive.
Hours of oxygen do we have? In these dive stuff.
We'll go with the standard 6, with the benefit being additional benefit of there is a perfectly fine oxygen environment above the water that your tanks are designed to act as vac refreshers also. They will self-replenish.
How far away is the storm?
Your best local guide estimates before you left, because they wouldn't come out with you. Um,
That's all we need to know.
Yeah, did you want me to finish that sentence there, Docs?
Sorry.
Patting the tank. Looks like we're going to be out here for at least 6 hours. And start prepping for the dive.
It did take you some time to get out there. You ended up meeting with the larger Spectre Star Technologies contingent that had been searching a site about 10 kilometers away from, or searching about 10 kilometers away from um, where they actually took the video. And 10 kilometers isn't a whole lot, but when the area that you're searching is between 10 to 40 meters underwater, um, it's practically looking for a ship in space. I guess that's probably not a great analogy because people have different ideas, but it's difficult. They were not going to find this the actual site without being told where exactly it is, or at least being told somewhere within a kilometer at the worst. The main Spectre Star Technologies contingent was very well equipped for any kind of pirates or mercenaries that wanted to horn in on them. Um, they they actually have those Ika beans mounted on two of them mounted on the pondway that they're sporting, or a pondway, um, and both the single wake fin they have and the three Makomaka are all equipped with mounted laser rifles. There's
Laser rifles or like the handheld, right?
no laser rifles. Well, yeah, still personal weapons, not heavy.
Okay. Okay, well, that's what I was curious about.
Yeah, no, they couldn't have mounted heavy weapons on the Makomaka or the Wakefin. And there's about well, there looks like there are 12 combat ready among them, with another half dozen that are just regular specialist type divers.
So, Everyone ready? Everyone got their breathing techniques down?
Yeah, no, we got this. This is fine.
Oogie has that music playing through his earpieces. That stuff that Tally played for him. Are we with Tally? Was she coming with us?
She has not made it down to Dominican Point yet.
Okay.
Yeah, she's still tied up at Everest Station, and you actually haven't heard from her yet.
I'm gonna do a slight retcon. We've made sure that that she will be communicated with about our doings and our whereabouts.
Okay, that's fine.
We haven't gotten an SOS or anything from her yet, right?
No.
Like, we've been in contact with our people. They can notify Tally so she doesn't like come down to the surface and be like, "Where did you guys go?"
Yeah. No, that was easily resolved. You guys, like I said earlier, you ended up back on your ship anyways, and so all of that could be communicated. She'll be kept in the loop. You've got your suits on. Air tanks are full and everything's connected. The Shogunate Auditor is looking a lot less comfortable than you guys, and that's saying something. But he puts on a suit and a tank and falls into the water behind you. Now, it's not terribly difficult sinking to the bottom here. You guys have all been instructed and trained on how to sink in water. I imagine that Miyakin could give us a little bit more technical version of that, but does it basically amount to you adjust something and you sink? Having heard nothing from Miyakin, I'm gonna assume I'm right.
I'm muted.
Oh.
I mean, it's not necessarily, you don't, basically you just like, empty out your lungs and all. You have to make sure you're, beforehand, you make sure you're neutrally buoyant in the water.
Okay.
So that way, basically, the air in your lungs influences whether you float, rise or sink.
Okay.
So the main thing is, and usually, I mean, in modern suits, you have like just called buoyancy control devices, but it's just filled up with air. So on the surface, you can fill that up, and you can, then it'll let you adjust a bit underwater too.
That's kind of what I was assuming. Is it that there'd be some kind of control you could do to?
Yeah. So you go in with it inflated, and then you would let it out to start going down.
Oh man. So this will appeal to you, Dexter, then. Imagine the buoyancy control devices in the Mass Effect universe where you have EZO.
Oh, it's been so long.
EZO.
It changes its mass depending on the electrical current running through it.
Oh.
And it can achieve negative mass.
Yeah. That sounds like pre-tech to me. We're gonna go with not that.
It's just amazing. I'm just thinking about it.
That would make for a fantastic dive suit apparatus, though. Once you get to where Perry had and actually, you know what? Perry's with you at this point. Unless you didn't want him to come with you.
Did he want to come with us?
He did not.
So the question is, did we force Perry to come with us?
Did you convince Perry to come with you?
I don't know that. Well, unless, I don't know, was he a flight risk? Was he going to leave the planet if we let him?
Probably not with Corey still out.
I think it's fine to let him, not join us, but
Okay.
main thing is if we haven't verified his information yet, right?
Yeah, that would be why Spectre Star had angled for bringing him along. So there is pressure to bring him along.
I don't know, I still think I'll.
Okay.
Anyone else have any opinions on that? I'd be fine with leaving him behind, so long as I don't think he's going to flee to where we'll never find him again.
It's not the impression that anybody's gotten from him.
Yeah, if we think he'll be fine, then I guess he'll be fine.
All right. You are swimming in the water, heading down. For those that have only experienced this kind of swimming and water and pressure and the light in a small tank, there's quite a world of difference. Your instructors tried to verbally prepare you for this, and some well-meant but fairly ineffectual efforts were made to give you a greater sense of the space and distance in those tanks. But nothing they did could have prepared you for the flocks of fish that completely blot out the light like black clouds swimming above you, or appear and swoosh by with little eddies and swirls in their wake, and a complete wall of fishy tornado in their passing, or seeing sharks chasing after them and
love
just gobbling in. What's that, Miyagi?
Lovely. I guess Archibald is tracking the sharks with his aqua beam, and probably starts sinking faster than he intends. And
There's an eerie kind of choir-like whistle from far off that just ripples through the water. And
I will say, underwater, it is very difficult to gauge distance based on sound, because sound travels so fast.
yeah, and so far.
I don't know if it actually travels farther.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Well, fine. This
actually
is a pre-tech whale.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm not gonna argue it too much, but yeah, distance is hard to gauge because it travels faster. I think it actually travels shorter too because the energy gets spent up faster.
That also makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. But whales would be low pitches.
This one's high pitched.
Interesting.
Yeah. And it's kind of like being in a watery jungle. There's life all around you. There's death all around you. And there's sound and weather.
There's death all around us, but as far as Oogie is concerned, so long as there is not death inside of him, everything is going to be okay.
Right there with you.
Finally reached the floor of this, and Perry wasn't lying. There was a structure built here. There were a couple of structures built here. They've long since eroded, and they're no longer structures. They're just the lowest parts of brick and mortar walls that that haven't been, crashed into by a shark chasing a swarm of fish, or a swarm of fish just deciding that wall didn't need to be there anymore.
I don't think fish are too big on destroying ruins anyway.
Well,
At least
probably
not.
not.
But then again, this is an alien planet.
They're pre-tech fish.
Yeah.
These fish could be all about rearranging their surroundings.
There's-
Oh, actually, I mean, there are kind of like those earth, you know, they build like little like hole, like
Mhm.
Have you seen that before? They
Yeah,
can do that, but on a bigger scale.
basically making their own environment out of what's there.
Yeah, usually little pebbles. They'd be like a little crater, basically.
What were you about to say there, Tulare?
I said they're all about rearranging their environment,
Oh,
like Enderman.
oh.
Freaking Enderman.
So you
There's
can
a reason that setting is called mob griefing.
so you can see the ruins. You can see the ravages of time on these ruins, and your analysts on the video. I mean, not that any of you are archaeologists, but yeah, there's certainly been a lot of wear on this, and it is the kind of structure that you wouldn't build underground or underwater. You know, the water would mix with the mortar, and it just wouldn't stick.
It would never cure if it was cement.
That's right.
That's not true. Portland cement
Well-
will in fact cure underwater.
Oh,
No.
well, okay.
When I knew like it used water to. Okay, anyways.
I didn't
learned.
know that, but it doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
So when cement cures, it is not a process of ejecting water. It is a process of cooling.
Uh,
I didn't think it was a process of ejecting water, but I did think that with it being moldable, that it being submerged would kind of just let water seep into it and kind of make it more difficult for it to harden.
It might make it more difficult for it to remain in shape while
Okay.
it is hardening. But yeah, Portland cement can in fact cure underwater.
Okay.
I mean, not that that's relevant to this
Right.
particular discussion. It's just
It's an interesting factoid.
an interesting
probably
factoid.
something actually used in underwater construction, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So in any case, Oogie has out either his survey scanner, if they're considered to be underwater capable devices, or
Yeah, that's fine.
a Cobb-built survey scanner, and is trying to keep head down and focused on the job. We had some notion that these ruins predated the existence of human beings on the planet, and yet, so trying to get some particularly age readings if possible.
Okay. Yes, you can assume that your equipment that could be waterproofed was waterproofed, and I would certainly include the survey scanner in that. I mean, Command knew that you were going to a water planet. They made some adjustments.
Yeah.
I'd
be surprised that just about everything doesn't have a scuba diving capable equivalent in
yeah,
the future.
yeah, probably. You wouldn't find it on Kamiego.
No, absolutely not. They don't even understand the idea of waterproof. They have to sandproof everything.
All right. This would not be basic analysis. So, operating the survey scanner to try and actually date these ruins would be a no check.
No check. Wonderful.
Yeah, see, that's what I heard too. No check.
I do wish you'd named that differently. It,
After that joke's been made 1,000,001 times.
it's like the support stat and the support score. Like there needs to be a better word for it, because support is such a useful word to be just kind of compartmentalized over there for that one meaning. Means every time I say war support, well, do I mean support or just the whole thing? Okay. Uki is able to break off some samples. It's nobody looks cross-eyed at him. It's what pretty much everyone here is already doing. There's not much effort being put into preserving what might be a pre-human expansion, human lodging, human site. There's a lot more interest in the science of it. So, Oogie runs a few samples of brick through, digs in and gets something that hasn't been contaminated or whatever with the water, and finds that yes, this was built over 7,000 years ago.
Well, aliens confirmed, y'all. Let's go.
The question is not what, but how and why. I learned that watching Nova.
Which Nova?
Wait, learned what? To ask questions?
Is anybody else doing anything down here?
Just being nosy.
I guess the suits. I guess it's just like full face mask, basically like a vac suit, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Max is trying to get his bioscanner to work on stuff.
Marcus is over here playing No Man's Sky, scanning all the local wildlife.
Yes.
Oh, Archibald's scanning it too, but it's a different kind of scanning.
Yeah, but Marcus is scanning it so that he can get credits and name it.
If you ever remember to upload it.
That's the only reason I ever played No Man's Sky, so that I could name everything, and I always had a different theme for every planet I landed on.
Oh, look at you being diligent. I never named anything.
All right. Is Marcus trying to do anything with his scanning, or is this just kind of idle child's play?
Apart from literally seeing if he can find remains and scanning them.
Okay.
But also, yeah, fish, because why not?
Okay. Why don't you give me an int or wisdom heal check?
1 sec, let me check my heal thing. Is it for all checks? Oh no, it's just on all heal checks, okay.
Okay. That's definitely helpful.
What did you say for the stats, sorry?
Int or wisdom.
There you go.
Okay. Excuse me.
Oh.
Yes. I
I
demand
don't
it.
think I will.
I'm not continuing the game until you do.
We are in an impasse.
I guess we are. All right, Marcus, I'm going to come back to you.
No worries.
Oh wow, I've reached the end of my notebook. Huh.
Huh?
Ah.
That's
Huh?
kind of really interesting.
Ah.
I turned the page and I've got the secret world builds for one of the characters I was playing.
Oh. forgot about that game.
Oh,
Yeah.
I loved that game.
Like the
Until
little pre-launch beta, and it was like, yeah.
yeah, then it just kind of felt like a game. It lost its luster.
It was so promising. Anyways.
Yes. All right. Anything anybody else is doing? We got Uki pulling apart masonry. We got Marcus searching for bones.
If any fish become too adventurous, Archibald might take a shot. I imagine most of the certainly is standing on the floor like awkwardly is he doesn't have enough air to actually float in this suit.
Um,
That's the rookie scuba diver thing, is basically like just like getting on the sea floor and stirring up all the sand.
I can't see now. Oh no.
Luckily in an ocean, it's you're not going to cause too much visibility issues.
yeah.
It's enclosed spaces where that's a real problem.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a wisdom notice check from Archibald?
Sure. I just know I'm gonna see I'm gonna see one of the fish aliens. 20. You gonna roll? Is it just being slowed, or do I need to try it again? Let's try it again anyways. It's probably gonna do two rolls.
All right.
Yep.
Might have to reload.
Yeah, let me do that.
Okay.
I haven't,
While he's reloading, Nox, what's Amaya doing?
because I've shot so many fish. Oh, gosh. What in darnation?
I think that until we get into inside of ruins in a way where we can actually look at any kind of tech, Amaya's area of expertise is kind of wasted. So Amaya's going to be keeping an eye on the other people just in case.
Are these ruins? Does it look like it's like there's something enclosing something, or is it just kind of like it's a wall?
All right. What was that? 2d6 plus 2 at the end.
That
there?
was me. That was me. I was rolling it manually just
I
to see.
see.
That took way too long to come out too. Let's roll 20 lagging.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
So, do you mean like how do you mean enclosing something?
Is there an interior to these ruins?
Yes,
we can tell?
these look like they were structures, living structures.
And
So-
they're still like they're not like all like open to the sea, right?
No, they are all open to sea. Whatever roof was on these is gone. You're basically making educated guesses that these were houses or storage or garages or something by the fact
Gotcha.
that they're constructed with corners for wall. And that one of the largest that you can see 3 of the walls, and there is a gap in one of those walls that looks like it would be a doorway.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I was just seeing if I could find if for a Maya if it was something we needed to break into. Sounds like nah.
Nope. You Archibald does notice that at about 15, just between 10 and 15 meters away, there's an odd shuffling of the sand. It's it's like something is it's definitely like something's moving underneath it. It's very slow, but it is near to one of the Spectrestar technology divers. It's,
I feel like I don't know. Is it wise to shoot it or no? I kind of want Archibald because he's on edge, being scuba diving in the open ocean for the first time. I feel like I'm just gonna take a shot at the first thing that seems weird.
Do we have any kind of open communication channel with them?
You guys have a limited communication channel with them. It's not open like it is between your guys's. You have to actively key in and speak at them.
Is there time to do that?
Sure.
Then
I guess. Oh, that's kind of well. Let's go at force and shoot it. I think Archibald's gonna shoot it first.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess. Oh wait, no. Right. They might freak out if I shoot in their general direction. That's a good point. No, I shouldn't do that. I will communicate.
That is the concern.
Yeah, no, that's a valid concern. That's a good point. I would definitely notify them, but I would fairly quickly take the shot after. Like it's like there's something moving in the sand behind you. I'm taking a shot, and then shoot.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead and roll me a wisdom shoot check.
Wisdom shoot. That's not promising.
Wisdom shoot. Yeah, you don't really know what the shape of this thing is. You've been able to work out what look like what's on the sea floor there.
Yeah.
And it is definitely displaying stalking behavior. That part's pretty clear to Archibald.
Yeah, when Archibald's clearly paranoid right now. So. I've tried rolling it, but Roll20's doing its thing.
Oh well, that is absolutely. Why don't you roll me the Aquabind damage with the normal modifiers that Archibald would get?
Yep.
I guess just make an attack at this point.
Modifiers currently, I don't think.
You have a gunslinger?
No, I don't have gunslinger.
Oh, okay.
I know, right?
Right, I thought you did.
No, I did consider it, but I was like, I want to. Gunslinger's a little too predictable. Gosh dang, Roll20, what are you up to today?
Gunslinger is pretty combat niche. Oh, what was that, Ben?
To get in combat. No, it's so goddamn good.
Oh, and I guess technically I should have just lined up an execution shot with it. Oh well.
I would have said no in this case. You really can't see the creature clearly enough.
Okay. No, that actually makes perfect sense.
It knows our presence.
Okay.
I hope that's its HP.
That is.
Nice.
I guess I'm not rolling a morale check.
Damn, I want to see what has 3 hit dice. Must have been an old weak one.
The little harpoons of the Aquabind that you've got, the modified Aquabind, Oh no, I made all the Aquabines 5 ammo, right? The mini harpoons that are fired embed deeply into some kind of meaty wings and flaps on the ground. It looks a little bit like a manta ray, but as if a manta ray were actually crossed with a jelly blob shark.
A manta ray jelly blob shark.
Yes, a manta ray jelly blob shark. It has amorphous qualities, and it has glistening, sharp teeth, and it's also translucent.
Wow.
It thrashes on the ground, and the Spectrestar Technologies diver who
Life I
hasn't
just saved.
even registered what you said before taking the shot, is panicked by the thrashing, is panicked by the jet of projectiles through the water, and is basically just flailing about panicked right now.
It's okay. There's two types of divers: those who pee in their suit and those who lie about it. So actually, these are basically, I guess these are essentially dry suits. You don't pee in those.
Maybe
Well,
you don't.
then maybe he's the second type. And once the thrashing stops and the sea sand, the ocean sand kicked up, kind of just disperses into the greater water, you can see where those harpoons anchored it into coral or stone that it was navigating around. It has a vicious cat o' nine tails like tail that have kind of fractal barbing, and are a little bit more iridescent than the rest of its translucent jellyfish body. It's definitely a poison hunter.
I gotta say venomous.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely.
With the threat of diving in Ka made clear, there's a little bit more of a rush to the Spectrestar Technologies.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to. Archibald's going to. Float up a bit higher rather than being on the sandy bottom. Or try to. It's an awkward prospect.
That's a good call that a lot of people are making. So I'm going to ask all of you to make me a wisdom or dexterity with exert skill check.
I'm not sure there's other threats that don't just lurk in the sand, but you know.
I have a question, Dex.
Mm-hmm.
It's how does this work? If I can walk on water, can I just like walk around? Like, can I just be like, okay, I'm walking on water, and then like take a step up? Okay.
I mean,
If you have that technique
like it.
applied, then I'll give you a +2 bonus to your check.
Okay.
And,
Oogie has forgotten his training in his panic.
Yes, he has.
But Archibald's we're really keyed in now.
8.
Yeah, and in addition to that exert bonus, Marcus does have greater ease moving through the water. He still has to swim, but being able to kind of ride some of the water as if it was a wall or a floor is giving him a significant advantage underwater. Talair, what's happening over there with Oogie?
Maybe the music cuts out for a second or two.
No, it's not that the music cut out. Let me think about this for a second.
Do you want me to come back to you?
I mean, you
Yeah,
weren't
give
trying to
me-
use the survey scanner too, for context.
Well, no,
Like,
Oogie was close to one of the walls. So what I'm going to say is that Oogie panicked, tried to ascend, and got himself entangled in the wreckage. And then
Okay.
that's making him panic even more. So he's like got his arm pinned in like a crevice in the brick and stone, and he's thrashing in a way that really, if you were trying to evade a predator, would be the last thing you wanted to do.
Like, hey, I'm over here.
Predator's dream.
Archibald and Amaya, roll me notice checks. Or survive if you have that.
They're venomous pack hunters. I knew it.
And I will say that regardless of your actual numerical bonus, survive will be a better roll if you have at least a 0 rank in it.
Oh, whoops. Okay, I haven't seen my roll yet, so I'm going to change to survive
Survive
Okay.
what?
because I do have 0. Might as well.
And what was that, Nox?
Survive what attribute?
I think wisdom here.
Okay.
Eventually, it'll show up.
What?
So, wait. So it's only being slow for me.
Yeah, it is only being slow for you.
The world.
I can just use your notice roll and modify it for survive.
Yeah, it'd be an 8 instead.
Okay. And what's weird is it's only going. Oh,
Oh,
good thing we did that.
that's an 8 instead.
It's only being slow for you outbound. Obviously, you're seeing the results as soon as we see it.
Yeah, we're saying it at the same time. So it's somehow between me clicking it and Roll20 displaying it,
Huh.
or actually rolling it.
Mo-
I don't know.
I'm wondering if maybe it's just your browser is like struggling to. I don't even know. I'll
That'd
leave
be
you to figure that
weird,
out.
but maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's technically still working.
Yeah. Both Amaya and Archibald notice that Oogie's thrashing has attracted an unlikely threat.
Damn, I was hoping you were gonna say unlikely ally.
There is it's almost like a tentacle of fish swimming out from, like, snaking towards Oogie from the greater school that's been just kind of clouding around.
Oh god, it's like some sort of hive entity. It's like a hive mind piranha.
It is going to go straight for well, it's wavy but straight towards Oogie.
I'm just wondering how many more threats are here. Should we just start shooting at it? I guess that's like Archibald like seeing this and calling out the tentacle of fish, right? Amaya, any thoughts?
This is the only thing we can really do. I don't think throwing a knife is gonna help us here.
Marcus is just literally looking at Amaya, and then once Amaya makes a move, that's what Marcus does. If Marcus runs, Marcus runs. If Amaya shoots, Marcus does the same.
We're gonna run. We're gonna swim.
But yeah, no. Do something. Perform a murder. This is a fish. We're not reasoning with a fish.
Well, it's a school of fish forming a tentacle.
Oh, okay.
That makes it totally different.
Yeah, I don't know if that really makes a difference. But yeah, I guess we'll just. Anyways, I started blasting.
Oogie's attention is drawn to this now. I don't know if he's got the presence of mind to recognize it. That's entirely up to you.
I mean, Oogie's pretty good at survive, honestly. So
Okay.
I think
Well, I'm
he's
calling it out.
got other instincts here besides swimming. He used to be pretty good at survive, but not for the level of character that he is. He's got some survive.
He used to be okay at surviving on Kamiego.
That's about it.
But then again, that's basically Archibald's too, because I'm just gonna plus
So-
0 in it.
He's got instincts other than swimming that he's actually able to,
Call upon.
you know, not
Rely.
necessarily calm, but
Rich.
be present. But he's not going to help here. He's going to try to punch the fish.
I love it. Oogie's got survival instincts, but he's gonna punch the fish.
He's never seen a fish before. The only fish he's seen was on his plate, and it was delicious.
But they have birds on Kamiego, right?
Yeah, but they're more solitary. They wouldn't exhibit any of this kind of behavior.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have swarms of birds for sure.
No, there's not very much in the way of pack predators or hunters on Kamiego because survival is such an individual thing.
Yeah, versus here, like the density of biomass is ridiculous.
So I say he's going to try to punch the fish, but really what he's trying to do is just like swing his arm through the tentacle to see if he can disperse it.
Okay. All right. So anybody that is trying to disperse the this tentacle, with shooting your Aquabines at them, or trying to disperse them by swinging your arm, or some other way if you come up with it, can roll a wisdom or dexterity, shoot or survive. And the shoot or survive applies to whether you are using a gun or an arm.
Well, I'm using a gun.
Max is making it go poof from the inside out.
So Marcus is is trying to use his telekinesis?
Yes,
Is the most effective weapon down here.
indeed.
I'm rolling my shoot
But it's
dex.
come when you are.
It'll be there eventually. Don't worry.
Okay.
I am the gun.
I know gun. That's all I know. Gun is good. Gun is life.
All right, I'll come to you last, Ben, but come up. Go ahead and roll your telepathy instead of shoot. Not telepathy. Telekinesis instead of shoot. With wisdom or dexterity, same as everyone else. And try and come up with a narration that would affect this large of a swarm of creatures, and isn't just effectively killing one among thousands.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Good.
Let's see. I've got
Should show up eventually.
Tulair, Oogie. I've got Archibald. I've got a 7 and a 9 so far. Do you want to roll for Amaya there, Nox?
Sure, an attempt can be made
Mm-hmm.
with that, because that's all I can do. It's going to be trying to scare them off with the light and heat of the laser spear.
Okay. I'll accept that as a
anything-
substitute for shoot.
If I learned anything from Subnautica, those fish will be cooked and we can just go and straight up eat them. I love that upgrade in Subnautica. Get a little knife and apparently just, the thermal knife.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to cook the fish anymore because you slice them up with it and they come out cooked.
All right. Tulair, how much does this look like flailing, and how much does it look like honed survival instincts? The tentacle of fish is crashing at him.
60% flailing, 40% survival instincts.
Okay. And I don't mean to deny you any kind of narrative here, Meowkin, but Archibald is shooting harpoons through a school of fish.
Yep. Like shooting fish in a barrel, except it's a really fucking big barrel.
Exactly. And then we got Amaya, who swam over there as fast as she could, and waved glowing hot and laser-fied spear in their path. Does anybody want to add narrative to that so far?
I mean, I will say, I mean, so far as the Archibald, he's like shooting like further up, like not shooting at like the tip of, like he's shooting like in the like maybe like halfway up. I don't know how long it is, but
Okay, so kind of
like part way up, like you like the thing like you shoot a tentacle and sever it. It's like he's just it's kind of like that, except obviously it's probably not going to work like that because it's a swarm of fish.
I was thinking like breaking up an ant trail.
I don't know if I ever did that.
Yeah, if you scuff out a trail made by ants, then they look for different paths.
I didn't even think about that. That makes sense.
Okay.
More than what I thought.
And Ben.
I'm just thinking of it from the pure, just like telekinetic is just moving particles, essentially. I'm just literally just trying to make, I'll say almost like the mantis shrimp, where it just like makes a small like hole or enough pressure to like just disorientate. There we go, I can get the word out. That's pretty much what Max is just trying to do. Is just trying to like essentially push the water against itself to make like a pressure buildup.
Cavitation, I
Bubble.
think is what it's called.
Yeah, basically.
What'd you say there was called, Myokin?
Cavitation.
Cavitation bubble.
I
Okay.
don't know if it's strong enough for that, but it's just trying to like, not try and kill, but just like slow, disorientate kind of feel.
Right, and the important part there is that he's not targeting any single specific fish. That he's more trying to influence the behavior of the fish tentacle.
Yeah, just try and kind of like misdirect it in a way.
Okay. That is sufficient. Oogie does get battered by a few fish, and while they're small, it's not like being rammed by tuna. It is. They are big enough, and they pick up. They basically jet at him in the last meter or so, with enough speed that if he had taken that tentacle, he can already tell he would be a bloody pulp leaking out of his suit.
Nice.
Wow, that's impressive work for some fish.
So they're kind of like a swarm, but they cohere well enough that they could like they were gonna whip me or something.
Do
No,
they kind of like?
they each individually, when they get close enough, just have some kind of biological mechanism that turns their own self into a little ram bullet with a hard, bony head.
I can imagine like a little like they have a like a like squid, like it's almost like a little jet that they shoot out that like gives them a burst of speed. I could see something like that.
Yeah.
So do I buy myself enough time to free myself from the masonry?
Yes, yeah. The efforts to break up the trail as it's coming in, and also to disrupt the tip of the tentacle as it's coming at you, gives Oogie enough time to gives him enough leeway that he does not take a massive pummeling. He gets hit by 4 or 5 of these fish, and it hurts. It's like being shot by beanbags. But it's not enough for me to worry about the damage, since you'll have plenty of rest time to recover from it anyways. Um, and it's also enough time for him to calm himself or get himself somewhere where his thrashing isn't is noticed. It buys him enough time for you to narrate why this school of fish is no longer as interested in him.
So they react to panicked movements. Or
What was that?
so they react to panic movements, or like,
Oh, they were definitely coming at his thrashing.
interesting.
That was absolutely drawing them.
And yeah, if you're underwater, something will be like moving, let's say, smoothly, efficiently. They've got something just thrashing around. It's like, well, either it's dying, or I can make it die.
That's a fair point.
You want to think on that for a minute, Oogie? Or Tiller? Or does there even need to be any further narration for that?
Sorry, I got distracted for a moment there.
Oh, no worries.
So yeah, once the tip of the tentacle is dispersed and Oogie's thrashing has managed to deal enough damage to this ancient, priceless ruin that he's able to yank his arm free, some of his survival instincts and some of his training start to reassert themselves, and his thrashing, we'll say that it stops. He's still not in full control, but he is no longer thrashing in such a way that this school of fish sees him as an imminent meal, and instead finds itself being shot at and laser speared.
I'm starting to think we should have found a bestiary.
and from that, I don't know if it has left, but it has certainly found itself distracted from what is not as easy a meal as it thought it would be, and some of the fish are getting killed and damaged, so it's probably distracted at the very least.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the coherent or cohesive trail of fish that were forming an extending tentacle basically just kind of disperse and then rejoin the cloud, and it continues drifting nearby you. An occasional cloud blocking the sunlight from shining above you, or blocking your view of farther out. They keep a distance.
And absolutely not terrifying at all. That is. I just, what the hell is that? Attacks can come from any direction.
And there is no bestiary on offer for cause depths. The bestiary is called Bring a Tour Guide. Well, bring a guide.
Yeah. Well.
Oogie retrieves his survey scanner. No way that he's going to have gone through all of this for absolutely nothing. And then he also ascends to the level of the other people. At this point, he's just kind of clutching his survey scanner, and both figuratively and literally out of his depth.
No, the problem is we're too far in the depths. We want to be out of the depths.
He is both out of his depths and into deep.
There you
Ben, Marcus
Oh,
found what looked to his physician trained eyes or medically trained eyes like human bones.
Swim, 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 swim.
Yeah, they're buried, but the good work of the bioscanner keying into specific molecular structures and all that science gobbledygook. Take him over to a what looks like basically a brick over or a set of bricks, some flooring, brick flooring. Over a shallow grave, and there are most of a skeleton. With the check you've already rolled, you can your bioscanner can either date these remains or ID them.
One or the other.
One or the other. You can make subsequent checks to ask more questions of them.
Tell me your
ID
story,
them.
Bones.
These are this is a human skeleton of a human female, about 60 to 75 years old. Not the bones aren't 60 to 75 years old. That the person that died was 60 to 75 years old at time of death.
Okie dokies.
I guess we shall. Yeah. If we can date them.
Do you want to know more?
absolutely.
Wouldn't it be weird though if he said no?
It would be weird, yes.
Picks up the bum. Nah. Drop it.
It doesn't mean anything. just some swimmer, some old swimmer, dumbass.
That's
All
dirty
right.
bones already.
Give me another heal check. Int heal.
In heal. Boom.
Okay. You can ask another question of it.
Want to try something else, or just confirm that they're the same age as the ruins? I mean, the assumption is they're the same age as the ruins, right? But it would be interesting.
Age.
But it would be interesting if they aren't.
The ruins. Like, how old are these bones?
The scanner takes some time to filter out contaminants that did leak in from the water. It wasn't a watertight hole that these ended up in, and work out what the damage from the water would be, but narrows down. Your previous estimate from the rocks was 7,000 years or older, over 7,000 years old. Your bioscan, if you account for that, is giving you a more specific 7,500 to 7,800 years old.
Cool. Max is now going to be looking for the rest of the bones and to see if they were with someone else.
That's going to be that's going to need some help. Who can help Marcus with trying to find more bones over this site of more extensive ruins than Perry had indicated, while surrounded by tentacle-forming fish schools and.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Archibald's too busy looking out for more threats.
And the risk of jellyfish, manta jellyfish
ray
sharks. Not to mention actual whales out there and sharks that are.
Yeah, I'm scared. Oh, yeah, what are the whales gonna do? Oh, I'm assuming that at least probably sonic attacks. Damn it!
Gotta stun the fish so they don't ram
Yep.
it.
Yeah, they probably hunt those packs of fish like that, and they shoot a sonic attack and stun the whole swarm, and then just swallow them up.
It's actually a really good idea. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, now have at it.
There's a real fish that does that.
Yeah. I'm only
Yeah,
half joking about writing it down as a new idea.
Except for because I mean it kind of makes sense because like, the whole schooling thing is like, oh, it's hard to focus on one. I mean, I guess you can still kind of take big bites out of
Mhm.
when you're a really big fish, you just kind of grab several at a time. It doesn't really matter, but still.
Actually, I think it's a shark that does that. Yeah, it's like a shark with like a whip tail, and it'll make a
Oh,
shockwave
yeah.
and swing it around
Oh,
quickly, stunning
Sounds
schools
familiar.
of fish and then eating them.
But this is cooler though because it's a sonic attack. That's
So this
made
is real life.
differently. Yeah, and that makes it less cool.
Yeah.
No, I mean the pre-tech fish. Pre-tech fish are real life.
So
So,
they're not using pre-tech.
who can help Marcus? Or do you want to reach out to Spectrestar Technologies and have share with them and have them help in the search?
Yeah, let's get a little joint operation here. And
I suppose there's been no sign of their shuttle or whatever, right?
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah.
That's what they've been primarily looking for. That's why you've been left generally to explore the ruins. The fact of the ruins being here was interesting, but they're more interested in finding this supposed shuttle that has markings on it, or an identifier that matches a shuttle they have safely in harbor. So you'd be pulling them away from that. It's not that they're unaware of everything you're doing here. They know that you guys have found some interesting things. Details haven't been relayed completely. But yeah, there's either get some of your crew here to help Marcus in searching for more bones, or try and pull away some from Spectrestar.
Oogie will help him. He's going to remark as he starts the search. If I were a dead body, where would I be? And then he laughs in a way that reveals he doesn't think that's funny at all.
Be real, isn't it? Right here, huh?
About 10 minutes ago, if nobody did anything.
Ow.
Yeah.
All right. I don't feel like asking you to roll another skill check on this is terribly interesting. You've got Oogie helping you out to do the search, and Marcus and Oogie are able to find about a dozen other more or less intact human skeletons.
Are they all congregated in like groups / sections, or are they like spread out?
Oddly enough, the last five not the last five. A group of 5 or 6 are in one location. They weren't just piled in. They appear to have been laid to rest peacefully. But the others are all like you found them, just individual. Sorry, let me revise that ratio. There's 3 that were hidden, like he found, under rocks and such, and the other 2 that he finds are of varying ages, but not nearly as old. And he can tell this just by looking at their sizes. That one of them was probably a kid, maybe 10 is a good age reference, and another one was some kind of an adult of some age that hadn't started seeing various bone diseases set in yet. The other about 10-ish of these bodies are buried in groups of 2, 3, and the aforementioned 5. And they were not hidden under floors. One thing that Marcus gets for free, and you can of course go back to asking questions of the bioscanner, is that the 3 that were hidden under brick floors were of remarkably better health. For their being dead condition.
Nice.
They all register as being between 7,500 and 7,800 years old, and they all are human.
Nice.
There's something else that I would like to do while we're here, FYI.
Okay.
I don't know what the immediate results of it are going to be. It's just data that I want to collect, which is going to be from a high enough up above the ruins, get video or photographs or whatever that we could then later stitch together into a composite map of the site.
Okay, so you want to be high enough that you can actually get some kind of landmark, whatever the nearest pillar city is, and create a X marks the spot.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not next marks, like the layout of the buildings and
Okay.
the size of the buildings relative to one another.
Okay.
And then we can cross-reference that with the location of the human remains that we find there.
Okay. I don't think that doesn't seem difficult enough for me to ask for any kind of check for that. So that's something that Oogie and Crew and Spectre Star can all manage to accomplish.
Okay. I just wanted to let you know that it was happening so that if there were any narrative information that reveals to us later on, that you're aware that we did it.
Yes. Thank you for that.
We can tell you that we told you that.
And I am going to call for a skill check to analyze that information. You get that high level map overview easy enough. But who has knowledge of social structure, city planning, or something that would give you any insight to those burial locations and the building ruins that you've found so far? Well, I shouldn't say so far. The building ruins that you've mapped out. You guys are being pretty thorough about this. You're pretty much guaranteed to have the whole site mapped.
Wow. What skill would that be? Social structures, connect, um, urban planning, administer.
Those would both be good suggestions. I could see those being combined. I would, of course, prefer that they be rolled by two different people. And, have the characters putting their head together in a discussion about this.
And we're coming up on the close of the session, and we're still underwater. That seems like a later analysis step, right?
No, let's
no?
go ahead and do that right now. I think that's actually a good place to close out the session.
Yeah, the revelation of what's about to be revealed to us if we don't screw this up.
So who?
This is really outside of Archibald's wheelhouse, so.
Okay.
Unless, I mean, I guess I could see. I don't have a skill appropriate to it that I can think of, but it's certainly kind of like a bounty hunter. Maybe a bounty hunter recognizing city patterns, but if it's, but that's usually like like where people hang out, which again maybe.
I could see that.
I don't know what skill I would roll. It's certainly not administer or connect for me.
I still think that would be an administer. It's just that you'd be able to roll that administer, because you've got that background that suggests Archibald could even have that knowledge. Basically, that background allows you to make the check.
Yeah. Well, if no one else has anything, I have a -1 in administer or connect or all those, but I'm willing to roll it.
I don't think anybody else in this group has administer. Let me check.
I have it, but I also have high connect. I was basically looking at my character sheet and saying, how could Oogie contribute to this?
Oh.
So if somebody else has something else that they want to suggest, that would be good too.
You know what? Go ahead and make the roll for Archibald.
Okay.
This can be wisdom or intelligence.
Same difference.
Okay. And roll the connect for Oogie. Wisdom or intelligence again.
It'll be there in a minute. I haven't bothered really troubleshooting it because it's not really causing a major issue.
Yeah,
and hopefully it'll be fixed. If it happens next time, then I'll troubleshoot it.
I mean, when's the last time you restarted the whole browser, all windows?
Not that long ago, actually.
Okay.
Not super recently either, though.
How many tabs do you usually have open?
Maybe 5.
Okay. Well, that's wow.
Well, yeah, I know, right? Worth the wait.
The 3 that were under the floorboards. This may come as a no duh moment because they were buried under brick floors. But they are in structures and a city position of esteem. They're also in central structures. Archibald can draw on his knowledge of city layout in that the structures that they're in were probably the first built, and built with luxuries and amenities that he can imagine they were built with in the past. They certainly have little bricks here and there that would support an artist's rendition of those amenities. And Oogie noting the flow of a central city hub and the kind of valued position that those 3 sets of those 3 bodies were in. So you've identified that 3 of them were clearly more important. They weren't hidden away for some reason. They were buried with importance.
Do we get any sense of what the purpose of the site was?
Yeah, I think your roles absolutely. This was a site of desperate survival. There are fairly clear indications that early efforts have been were put down or turned into better efforts with better tools.
It's like the whole like ruins was like a constant struggle kind of deal.
Yeah, kind.
I mean, I've got a hypothesis out of character sort of stuff here that we're finding a location where people were transported either back in time or great distances from their previously known location, found themselves stranded on a deserted planet and had to make do while they were here.
I'm gonna put a period on that.
I mean, time travel is what makes it's yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, just because of the whole shuttle thing that's in two places at once, supposedly.
No matter how they got here, you know that the rise of water puts this bit of land above the sea level 4,000 to 8,000 years ago.
Oh, that's
Um,
extreme.
yeah. So the time part of it fits nicely with the rise of sea level that you already have metrics for. And all the structure and the positioning, the connect and the administer, puts a lot of merit on the theory that Two-Layer just put out. And if you guys, if Archibald, if you want Archibald and Oogie to kind of come to that theory in their review of this, I think that's reasonable, for them to reach it.
Gotcha.
Based on the data that they have available. And not just them, Marcus and Amaya, all of you could have gotten into this conversation and theorizing.
I mean, I feel like it's more likely to come from someone other than Archibald, but like he knows he kind of knows people in a hunting aspect, but not like cultural, I suppose.
In
Anyway.
in that respect, Gilligan's Island, people who don't know how to survive in the wild being put into the wild.
Gotcha.
Does anybody have anything else they want to do or say before we close out this session and go into review?
Not really.
Yeah,
Wait,
forever
how long did it
100
take for us to get to here?
It took about an hour and a half to get here.
Okay. Okay, that's it.
All right. We will close out with one of the people, one of the Spectre Star Technologies people that are hanging out on the pond way above, sending a group comm down to all of you with a worried comment that the wind shifted and that Cloud Bank is I can see it moving.
Oh, from the surface.
Uh-huh. And
Like-
we'll
I was just in response. I was just kind of thinking it's like it's like the Cloud Bank.
You know, the thing we saw
Is that-
rolling in.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it not always just moving?
It's-
It's not expected.
Or is
it's
it moving more than anticipated?
it's like watching paint dry, except you can actually see the paint drying now.
So it's sped up.
Yeah, it's coming at us fast.
There's a
No.
wind in its sail, laddies.
Now,
It's
has it
coming for
actually
us.
sped up, or does it just look like it sped up?
We will find
I'm gonna
that out
assume it-
next week.
I'm gonna guess it's actually sped up, because okay. Anyways,
It's the fish.
So I've lived in a city that was on a lake, one of the Great Lakes, and I had the experience once of watching a storm front come in off of the lake, and you could see the clouds like literally tumbling over themselves as they were coming in off the lake, and it happened so fast. In the space that it took me to cross a street, the temperature dropped 15 degrees.
dang.